Hello. Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? Hopefully amazing. You all haven't been swept up into the flames of the Aries season. I realized just looking at videos how active and how much energy tends to go into these lives. And I don't know if you all know this, but it's not that hard to be excited about things that you're excited about. With that being said, I am definitely ecstatic about Aries season, and I am totally here for all of it. With that being said, all the folks who already started the season off, birthdays in March, happy belated birthday. All the folks from here forward, happy early birthday. And the folks for today, you're welcome. You're lucky. Happy birthday to you on your actual birthday. So by the time this series airs, if we do choose to host it as a podcast still, because I can tell you there is a lot of things that today I realized I hadn't already pre-prepared. So this is raw. This is coming to you and not that most of the lives that I do don't have an aspect or component of raw, but this particular one, I would say the rawness comes with just the sheer fact there is nothing that I need or want you all to do except, of course, tune in, pay attention, absolutely give and share some feedback as things are popping up. If you're catching a win and you're enjoying the process, say something. It really helps, and it's super important to let people know when the things that they're doing are totally pouring into you and supporting you. I know we can all kind of get stuck in this habit of being looky-loos and watching lightweight like stalkers, but not saying anything. So even a like, a comment, a share, any of those things will be super helpful and beneficial for the people that you care about, love, and like to know, okay, cool. I'm doing not even so much that I'm doing the right thing, but that it's being received by the people that are actually looking for it. We've discussed so far, just this year alone, things along the lines of human design in the month of February, and just looking at a partnered live that I did with someone about being able to function and operate within your own human design. And not that this is the only way you can function in the world, but those moments when you've been able to notice when you were in your full flow, in your mojo, stuff was lining up and working. Wouldn't you love to know a little bit more about how to get there on purpose and how to stay there in that space? Some people learn it by default, they get there, they stay there, and that can totally happen through coaching with different folks. This can happen through getting different certifications, degrees, just learning more things about yourself to the extent of having experiences that not everyone has, that you uniquely have, that help to build your specific unique story. This particular live in this beginning, and again, Aries season started last week in the end of March. But for me, because my birthday is coming up within a couple of days, I always fully embody and embrace and go super hard into it in the month of April. Most of the world kind of associates it with April anyways. And for this year, based on the things that have been happening astrologically and just within the world, some folks may have mentioned that this is the beginning of a retrograde, and specifically with the Mercury and a more recent lunar eclipse that's just occurred, and the fact that Aries season is the beginning of the astrological new year. And what that symbolizes and means, and this is why some folks, you may have noticed in January, when the calendar year started, there is a space or controversy, whereas that's not the new year. Totally fine. Let's fight. I'm totally here for it today. We can explore, talk about all different things. But seasonally, when you look at astrological seasons, the beginning of the new year starts with Aries season. This also happens to line up with spring, which, depending on where you're living at, I know out here in California I've not been experiencing spring. I've been cold, and It's a little unnerving to know I can't go wear really short, small clothes if I wanted to because I will freeze, and I'm not here for the freezing. That's why I live in California and not in Ohio still. But at the beginning of spring, this is where all the work, all the things that were planted and like poured into are getting ready to start blooming and coming to fruition. So the new astrological year also marks the ideal time to start something new. That first 3 months of the year is a great time to prepare, get things lined up that you can start from April forward if you choose to adopt different time frames of how you start your own business, personal, whatever things you like to manage or govern within your life. Looking at it from 90-day increments already gives you the opportunity and the space to truly start to set goals that you can measure and accomplish, as well as noticing energetically where you're at during different times of the year and how the environment outside literally can impact you. When it's cold, when it's gloomy, people function differently, and that difference is based on your personal preference. There are people that love and really thrive in cooler places where it's colder. I'm not those people. And I love you people for that. Please go. Enjoy it. But I'm fully aware that for me, when the sun is out, excuse me, when the sun is out, when the weather is warmer, when there's the opportunity to, and if you notice, I'm gonna wear bright colors all the time, anyways. I can go back to old pictures in school, and I always remember just one particular story in ninth grade where maybe we did or didn't happen to be at school on time. Hence, I've never gone to school and then left that I can recall, but other people might have different memories of it. All of us leaving, and despite the fact we weren't supposed to be doing what we were doing, you could always identify where I was by looking for the brightest colors within a picture, within a group of folks. If you ever wanted to find me, that was the best way to do it. Who's got on the brightest colors? Me. So what I wear is definitely dependent on how I want to feel. And I guess since a child, I was able to recognize that I genuinely enjoy the bright colors. They make me happy. Uh, one of my daughters, I can't remember which one, so whatever, they can say whatever they want to say about it. I recall being in the car, and this is one of those great mom moments where your children are doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, and you are actively working towards maintaining a little self-control. I don't know if it's that she drew on the car or like I think she stuck a sticker on my dashboard, and I like to keep like wrappings and stuff on things and make it look very new, but it was green, and it was kind of like one of those distracting moments. She was trying to divert me from getting upset and was like, "Hey, it's green." I'm like, "Okay." She was like, "Doesn't that make you happy?" She was right. It does. Literally seeing different colors can evoke different emotions and feelings. So as you go through different seasons and noticing what each season cares to bring energetically, as well as how you function during those seasons, it's helpful to incorporate and take in things that you like, things that you know are supportive during those time frames, and how to get you motivated and started. In this Aries season, one thing to explore is what do you want to accomplish for this next 90 days? We're in a new quarter. Um, Energetically, this is a great time to be starting new stuff or to start putting into work the things that maybe you were preparing, collecting data, getting information for within the beginning of this year, that now it's time to, okay, fast forward, manifest, and start putting some things out there. I realized even in this month last year, since I've been working with different coaches and had access to different calibers of people than historically I've had because of the decisions that I've made and choices I've decided to move forward with, I realized last year around this time, I was having the first collaborative book coming out like within the next week or so. And we were literally like international bestsellers. And I want to say like for my birthday, because why wouldn't I? I understand there were other people involved, but literally a year ago till today, the work that I was doing within that first quarter allowed new things to be birthed. How that kind of played out and continued on was there was a book that was released. And like I said, first time international best-selling author. And I think the second time happened within the second quarter, within a different season, and right about the beginning of those cardinal months. So noticing that at the beginning of seasons, the work that I've done for the 3 months prior have allowed me to be able to show up and present something new, to share what I've been working on, and have that labor of hard work in the background that nobody sees, nobody hears about until it's fully produced. All those seeds were planted to be able to bloom during this period of time. Last year, like I said, the book, and then I had an amazing first time I'd ever done it, and it was scary. And that just go ahead and do it and get it done kicked in, and it happened. I had my first summit. I had the Goddess Vibes Unleashed Summit. That summit was so freaking spectacular that when it was time to do it again, I definitely had some even more dope, amazing people, and I decided to condense it down. So much information was learned about how I did it the first time versus how I did it the second time. And if I was to choose to do another one this year, how I definitely want to go about doing it in a way that will be extremely supportive towards giving people what they're looking for, as well as me being able to enjoy the background work. So this first quarter of the year, coming into April, if you all notice, I've definitely appeared on some different folks' summits. I have been a part of different people's podcasts. I've been working on, there will be another book that comes out this month. So it's like keeping in alignment with things that I said I wanted to do, noticing the opportunities that are coming forward, and being super comfortable with saying no to things that don't align with me, even though it was like a really good idea. So the opportunity to be a part of an affiliate program, there was one that like I wanted to, and I was like, but I know my heart isn't focused in that direction right this minute. I take that back. My heart was like, yay, all warm and fuzzy inside and can't wait to do it again. But looking at my calendar and the things that I already set for what I wanted to do, that wasn't a part of it because I wasn't aware of it when I was making those particular plans. Speaking of plans within this Aries season and just in general, I want to encourage you all, if you set plans to do things and goals of what you want to accomplish, at the moment, and I just listened to someone's podcast yesterday, and they were talking about that breakthrough period, which is usually right after the moment you were about to give up. I just listened to someone this morning that was speaking on a stage to lots of folks, and they were talking about how to differentiate yourself and stand out from the crowd, but more than anything, how you can go about continuing to pursue things by showing up. Just continue to keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and it will be better to quit immediately when you first start something before anyone even knows than to get years and things down the line and quit because of whatever it looks like. In that same sense, right at the moment that you feel like you've reached a place or point where you can quote unquote quit, that's probably the time to definitely keep going, because there's probably so much more that needs to come out from that. Over this past weekend, and by the time you're hearing this, it'll be whatever it is. So there definitely may be another one coming up, as well as the ones that have previously happened. I was hosting a workshop, and based on the weather, like it definitely wasn't giving like go be great vibes at all. It was giving more of a eat comfort food and chill out. So I made an executive decision based on the amount of signups and what it was going to take to, still host and produce what I would like to be as an amazing workshop. So anytime people come and are able to meet with me in person or live, even here online, like I want you to have a great experience and walk away from it feeling something, whether it's full, whether it's like deuces, I don't want nothing to do with you, to have an experience. I'm for creating experiences. I'm for pouring into, and it took a couple of years to recognize that the thing that I've most been searching for and wanting actually giving to people is probably one of the few things that I denied for majority of my life. And just in case you're wondering what that is, I would say it's called femininity, not feminism and like all of whatever that looks like, but femininity and being able to incorporate that into how I function and show up. That I chose to be gentle with myself. And I still met with the other person I was co-facilitating with for the workshop because energetically we were going to be doing that anyway. So it didn't make sense to not do that. And it was definitely a more effortless process. But I chose to cancel the workshop so that I can reschedule it at a different time that coincided more with the availability of, I guess you could say, the rest of the world's availability, but more so the people that want to be there won't have the barriers or blocks. And the folks that did show up, which I highly greatly appreciate, I I felt compelled to still offer or show some appreciation because they chose to spend their time and invest not only just their time, their biggest currencies, their money and their time, they chose to spend it with me. So the least I could do is still give and pour into them and have a connection so that their time, energy, and effort wasn't wasted. Again, don't know what's going to happen for the rest of this month, but I can say in this Aries season, this energy historically is more of a, and you can Google it. So go ahead and get to Googling away. Uh, Aries energy is typically more of a divine masculine, which is about doing stuff and getting things done. In the spring, it's a whole lot easier to go get stuff done when the weather permits you to be able to get things done. In the wintertime, it's a little bit harder around January to like get up and get going, unless you have the luxury of living in a location where it's more tropical weather year round. Hence, maybe I need to consider moving to those places. But for this season, I encourage you all to give yourself a little grace, especially if you have like Aries in any of your charts or any of that. Like, know that this is definitely a time to start exploring what to do next. You don't have to go hardcore on anything. So, despite the fact that there is the divine masculine energy that kind of comes with the fire of this cardinal signal of being an Aries, there's still a gentleness and kindness that you can give to yourself. I still get to give to myself a little bit of grace and femininity in that, of course, the rest of this week, I think I maybe only have one more working day. And just to tell you how excited I was, I thought today was that day and was like, woo, I only got to see so many more people today and I'm about to be on break. It's not. I got a whole nother day. It's fine. I'm cool. I'm here for it. But taking time off to give myself a moment to recenter, to reset, to regroup, and look at what do I want to, based on what I said at the beginning of the year or said at the end of last year to go into this year and this next quarter, I get to sit down and take a moment and breathe and look at energetically, what do I want to create and do for the next 90 days? What am I going to put my attention and focus in? Who do I need to connect with? Where do I need to be at and show up at to hold space as well as be poured into and receive things for this next 90 days? And when do I want to do these things? Because 90 days goes by really fast. We're already day 2 in. So we got what was that, 88 more days left, and then we'll be done with this quarter and with this season. The things that you'll notice that are going to be coming up are the things that for this time frame made the most sense for me. They're also in alignment with what I'm pursuing and caring about, and I'm encouraging you to do the same. So the people that you follow, listen to, or connect with, if they're sharing information that's valuable and helpful to you or opportunities to have different experiences, go for it. At what point, when is going to be a better time to pour into you than the current time? If these folks are speaking to you and you're loving what they're doing, you're loving their content, you're loving what other people's results are, why wouldn't you explore and go follow what they're doing if that's what you want for your life? Now, there's this other space of, and I recognize, and I don't know how many of my peoples will notice this, so I would love for you to tap into. I feel fortunate to have quite a few pretty awesome folks, either in my real life that we've met in person or we've met virtually, that so far as I'm concerned, like we people, we cool. I'm wishing them happy birthday, especially all my Aries people out there, especially the ladies. Um, I got a whole bunch of Aries sisters aside from my literal biological Aries sister, and then other folks that have been a part of my life too that have, shared same birthdays, like all kinds of stuff. But being able to notice this is where we are, these are the things that we're creating, and encouraging each other to keep going for it and to show up for it. I love what they're doing. And just because I love it doesn't mean that it's something I'm in need of. So the way that I can show up and support is sharing what they have going on. It's maybe even collaborating with them to enhance it more, possibly. Some of the folks that I collaborate with, it's not because I couldn't do things by myself. Clearly, with all this masculine divine energy that I have functioned in, and that most of us function in due to either our traumas, due to, all the different stories that contributed to it, that I can do it on my own. All the strong friends out here, of course we can do it by ourselves because we're a strong friend. However, there's not a necessity to. I know a bunch of stuff and I don't need to do all of it. I can offer lots of things and I don't need to do all of it. It's a lot, in my opinion. It feels a lot better. It feels better to collaborate when I want to, when it's in alignment with what I like to bring to the world and how I want to bring a particular experience to the world, with folks that share the same common interest and have the same quality and level of skills that I have, but they do it in their own unique way that I feel will be complementary, or just enough of a dissonance that now people get a chance to see, okay, so what does it look like when people don't agree 100% on how things are done, but they both have a really dope process of how they do it and are willing to still not only collaborate together, but even see the value in what each other has to offer and incorporate it. So I encourage you this season, of course, while you can go do a whole bunch and be super strong friend like and do it all on your own, there are some things that you totally do need to do by yourself, such as what is your vision? What is your purpose? What are your goals for this next 90 days, this next quarter, this current energetic space or state that you're in? And then go find out, are there people that you do need to connect with? Are there folks that are going to be complementary to what you've got going on? Are there trainings, coaches, studies, workshops, things that you should, I'm not going to shit on you, but that you can do that will totally enhance where you're trying to get to? Are there these little feelings that come up? You're like, I feel like I should go try this out, or reach out to that person or talk to them. Do it. The worst that can happen is you find out, yep, it's a hard no for me. Now it's done. You don't ever have to wonder about it again. You can live with no regrets, or regrets, as they say. Go ahead, try the new thing. Be comfortable enough to know, like, it's either going to work or it's not going to work, but at least now you have that experience done. If something I'm doing works well for you and you're like, I'm really curious, I want to know more, like, reach out. My email works, my DMs work, our text system is working. Like, reach out, ask the questions. Everything might not always come through on time because as humans, we be human in sometimes. But do reach out, support those folks that you like. Maybe you're not interested in what they're doing, but you just like them as a person. Show support. Maybe there's folks that you see that you're like, I totally want to do what they're doing. Go do it for yourself, and or check out how they do it. It may give you great insights into how you want to do your own. That small investment into seeing someone else's process could be the thing that helps ignite what you do next. Anything that I've ever chosen to do, to some extent, maybe with the exception of my primary job that I've held over majority of my life at this point, which is that of a therapist, that's probably the only thing that maybe I didn't ask someone else about and just went for it because I just knew that I knew what I knew and knew that I needed to do this particular thing. But everything else, I almost want to say being a soldier, going to cosmetology school, being in the real estate industry, like working with children on the spectrum, like all these different things. There were other people that were doing those things, and I gave myself permission to ask the questions and then go do my own exploration, of course, because I have to do it all on my own. I have to experience it so I can know. All those experiences lead to the wealth of knowledge and how I am able to access and share and do different things, as well as help other people do that. It was almost like, why do all these things have to keep happening to me? Clearly, they needed to happen so that I would know the things that I know so I can help more people access what they want to do or what's already innately brewing or boiling inside of you. So, if you take nothing away from this particular Aries season episode, that masculine, that divine masculine energy is already innately, energetically here. It's a time or a season of doing. But if you like to be gentler or kinder to yourself, that integration of your femininity and how you go about do it is what will allow you to not be burnt out by the end of the season to where you're like, oh my God, I just need a break. Everyone needs breaks, but if you can work smarter, not harder, and that doesn't mean you don't work, but you work smarter in the hard work that you do so that at the end of a season, you're not so burnt that you can't function anymore. You're giving yourself breaks. You're asking for the help and support you need. You're allowing people to pour into you and not being scared to show up for others the way you want them to show up for you. So if you're showing up in your fullness and your whole, if you're a lady or identify as one and your whole goddess vibes, if you're showing up in that space and that energy, it's a whole lot easier for other people to receive what it is you're sharing if that's who you are. When you show up as the fullest version of you, people can't wait to get access to what that looks like. And that means you get to be significantly more discerning of who does get access. So in those collaborations, who are you working with or not working with and why? And there needs to be a benefit to you because the more that you get poured into, the more excess you have to pour out to other folks. So you all may notice an uptake. And I always say I'm going to do this, and I realize the level of privacy that I keep and maintain in my life, despite whatever you guys see on the internet, is so high that it's pushing me out of my bubble to try to share a little bit more. That maybe I'll be able to share some more while I'm celebrating my birthday, while I'm haphazardly finalizing things to do. And people that know me know, like, yeah, I'm pretty much so last minute on the what I'm going to do because I changed my mind. Because I want to make sure that I'm cultivating the experience that works for where I'm at in the moment. And this is one of the few times that I give myself permission and space and full out grace to be like, okay, we're going to a circus, we're doing this, we're doing that, and then it'd be like, I'm not doing nothing, and not feel bad about it either. So if you're wondering, and if you're my people, and maybe I haven't sent anything out or said anything, if you trying to do something, reach out to me. Like, I'm right here. You guys know I work from home or an office that's really close by. Reach out to me. There's probably things already in the works. Wink, wink. And if they aren't, I'm not opposed to receiving new ideas and great things to do. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Anticipate all the Aries to be acting all the way out as the first zodiac sign of the thing. If you want to wonder if we're like bratty-ish or like the youngest child, yes, we are. So all of that temper tantrums, the impulsivity, the like doing the most, it's coming. It's coming. So if you've got Aries friends and family members, if they haven't already started acting out and based on their level of maturity and where they're at in life, that may look different, but anticipate. We're bringing all the fire, all the smoke, and I challenge all my Aries peeps to show up and show out. Let people know. Let people know how great you are and how dope you are because we already naturally, innately do those things. So why not? Why not do it on purpose collectively when you got your people here to support you? So anticipate some fire, some smoke. I will try to share some of the things that I am doing for my birthday and how I am going about celebrating. feel free to check on the post that I shared about what are some of your birthday traditions. I'm totally open for brand new ones, but I would say the spa, continuing to redefine my level of beauty. So possibly even a different hairstyle. Who knows? Some more stuff, some more stuff. Um, totally here for it. Would love to hear it. Would love to share it and incorporate some new things in this new season and looking at what we can create together, how I can help you all have more experiences, and yeah, be on the lookout for the great things coming up for this month. I look forward to seeing y'all later. Guess next Tuesday we'll be back at it again. Y'all have an amazing day.